Hey guys, it's what is it, Wednesday, and so Thursday, tomorrow morning, you will have a new sword video. So we'll do a quick review, then we'll add the new stuff. Then on Tuesday, maybe we'll add just a few more things in review, and then you guys kind of turn it in or whatever. We'll figure that out. Okay, all right. So the quick review. Calvin's here with me. Say hi, Calvin.
Hi.
Take a step this way. The quick review: footwork, attacks, and go through an order. We start square. Calvin square, put that dominant foot forward just a little bit, okay? Then we start out here. This is the en garde position, and we can even be kind of like hitting one another's swords and saying things like, your mother's ugly, or whatever here, back and forth here at this time. And we can even be circling if we wanted to. Obviously on my deck, I don't have room to do that, but we can be circling, and that's where you can add in some dialogue and other things that you're gonna have as a part of your scene. So you want to start thinking about where that's going to go. It's weird if the scene is silent, so you want to have some sort of noises and stuff, okay? So I'm going to cue Calvin to attack his shoulder. He takes a step back and blocks. I cue this way. He takes a step back. Boom, he blocks, okay? Now he's going to attack me at this shoulder. I take a step back. Only he does it with one hand. And you flick your energy past. You should never be planning to go through here. Your energy should be like flicking past the person, right? Okay, so try that again on this shoulder. And, okay, good. And now the other shoulder, this shoulder, good. Okay, and so, so basic attacks. You can pick up the speed on those and practice them and get them going a little bit. We're going to do a few other special maneuvers that can sort of change momentum in a scene. Like if I was attacking Calvin, like 1, 2, 3, and I have the advantage, then you go for a big move, okay? A couple really simple ones are the swipes, okay? Calvin's at that safe distance from me, okay? I cue, all right? He sees that, and he's going to duck as the sword goes through and I swipe it, okay? And duck, okay, like so. Now, remember, even if he mistimed it, he's still at a safe distance. But if I step in and do that, then the timing is essential there, and you don't want the timing to have to be essential. You want me to go like this, and he's going to duck, and no matter what the timing is, that's safe. The other swipe is at the feet, so I pull it up like this, and he gets ready to jump, and I go through and he jumps. All right, so little simple ducks, jumps. Even if you have a piece of furniture, you can jump up onto, the ledge or the stairs or whatever. You could be creative with those swipes. The key thing with the swipe, pulling your sword all the way back around and then having good momentum as you go through, pulling the sword all the way around and having good momentum as you go through. All right, so that's the swipes. Got those? Then we're going to do what's called a core-to-core, or getting to a grapple. This is a difficult move if you and your partner are opposite-handed. I'm left, Calvin's right. So for this particular move, I'm going to go right-handed. This move is very difficult if you have opposite-handed. You might want to just not do it, okay? So on this move, we're going to do a head strike, okay?
I can actually do left.
Okay? No, you do right. You do right, okay? A head strike, I'm going to drop the sword down, and I'm going to strike like I'm going above his head. Calvin will just block, just straight up and down like this. Same thing happens. I cue, I step forward, he steps back and extends this so the tip of the sword doesn't quite get to him here, okay? So here we go. I drop the sword down, he takes a step back, he takes a step back, okay? So we need to make sure, step forward, we need to make sure we're at that safe distance. Now, do it again, I cue, and boom. Now stay standing up straight, okay? So we've blocked it like so, all right? From here, and we're going to do this really slow, I'm going to reach up for his wrist, and he's going to reach up for my wrist, and then we're going to slide our swords together and then down, okay? Stay standing, okay? Up like so. So at this point, and if somebody's a little taller, matching your height, Skylar, you could have a problem with this unless you have like a really small younger sibling. But here, now we can kind of like grapple and like we're trying to and then, he throws me off and now we're back over here. So that'd be a good opportunity to, say the things like, oh, you're not going to steal the cereal, or why'd you do that, or whatever it is, okay? So that'll kind of fit in with that. So to show that one more time, okay? Calvin, let's test our distance. Okay, you're too far away. Come closer. Okay. I cue down, he steps back and blocks above his head. stays up nice and straight and strong. We slide the swords together and then down here. And you see the blades are away, and we can move around or whatever, and I can say, little boy, you're going to bed, or whatever I'm going to say there with that. Okay, one other quick thing. Boom, Calvin back. There's a couple other kind of flourish-like defense to offense kind of moves, and one starts with the overhead attack. So we're going to do the same thing we just did. Let's check our distance. I go down, he takes a half step back and puts the sword above his head. From here, he can do a bind over. He can take the sword and bind me over here, right? It's kind of like a move of boom, and then whew, you kind of whip them down, and that's a good momentum changer as well. So to see that one more time, and we have two other versions of that you'll see. Okay, test our distance. I drop my sword, he steps back, and he binds me over. Okay, so
going down, intruder.
So strong. Okay, so there's two other ways to do those. All right, if I go and attack Calvin's shoulder on this side, and he just does a typical block, he steps back and blocks. Now he kind of flicks my sword down. Whew. Oh, geez, so powerful. Okay.
Die intruder.
Right, die intruder. So he flicks the sword down and sort of like, ha, you know, I've got you. You're, you know, ridiculously weak, right? And then the other way is if I go to a hip, down, and he binds me all the way over like this, okay?
You puny halfling will never defeat me.
Good at improving lines there, all right? So those are a few more maneuvers that can change momentum. They'll be important. You won't use these near as much as you use the basic strikes, but it's good to throw in 1, 2, and a swipe, and an overhead, and then now back at you, and it kind of adds some nice variety to it. So, you know, depending on who you're partnered with and how much time you have, try a couple of those. See what you need. I'm not looking for, War and Peace, kind of length of thing. I'm looking to kind of see that you got a few moves down and you played around with it, all right? Thrusts, okay? So here, thrusts are kind of like attacking straight out. You're trying to, like, stab the person here, okay? So Calvin's going to pull his sword straight back. So you do this by going here. That's the cue, okay? And I know by doing that, I'm going to step back. And as he comes forward, boom, I'm going to block him to the side. You're aiming just off. So if he's aiming at me, he's aiming to go right here, and I go boom and hit the sword right here. So we don't aim straight on, because if he trips or whatever, I'm slow, then you're poking your sword or whatever you want right into that other person. So again, I'm going to do it to Calvin this time. Step forward and test our distance. I'm going to do it to you. Step forward and test your distance. Quick. Okay, a little closer. Okay, here we go. Drop your sword. Okay, sword up. Okay. So I pull my sword back. He takes a step back. And boom, he kind of blocks it there to the outside. All right? So try a few different ones there. Now, there can be kind of a cool little disarm if you could figure it out from there. Have Calvin kind of stab in here. As he stabs in and does that thrust, I step back, I move in, grab the sword, and pull it away from him, and now I have both of the swords. And you can kind of do that on your opponent by, do that again, coming in, straight stab, here, to here to grab the wrist, and then I kind of pull it away from him. You're going to want to let go, okay? And then that's what's called a disarm, right? You could also do the disarm on the bindovers. If he blocks the sword to the ground, I can be like, it's too tough, and it blocks me to the ground, right? So you can do a few different creative things there. You don't have to end in a big dramatic death. The other person could just be like, I give up, or whatever, So just play around with a few of these things, okay? And then, so we talked about head, we talked about bind overs, we talked about the core to core, which is this grapple kind of thing. Just play around with a few more of these. Have fun with this. We've just got kind of a few lessons left. What did you want to share? Oh, you want to do it to me?
Yeah.
Okay, so Calvin wants to show how he can kind of do the sword grabby thing. So I pull my sword back like I'm going to thrust. He comes in. Okay, no, you're not going to want to do that. Calvin, you have to block just like you normally do the outside. Okay, so have your sword up just like normal, and you're going to block to the outside. You're going to go bink to the outside. So I go to stab, you step back, and now, nope, got to block to the outside. Here you go. Now reach up and get my wrist. Okay, and now bend this way and take it away, okay? Now go get that. Okay, so guys, just a few more maneuvers to play with. Don't get stressed out about this. If you just kind of learn the terminology and some of the basics of it, it's kind of like choreography, and I know some people get it into their bodies right away, and other people are like, I don't want to hurt you, and things like that. So play around with it, have fun, and we'll talk to you soon. See you guys.